Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nico Jean, and today we're going to talk about something that I think you'll find very interesting if you are a transformation professional and you work with clients. And what this is, we're going to talk about is how narcissistic trauma basically gave you your superpower that you use in your coaching practice or whatever it is you do in transformation, and how this not only is this your superpower, but it's also your downfall. Okay. And so I'm just pre-framing this for you because I want you to understand that, you have so many gifts and talents and skills that you basically, honed because of your past experiences. And something that happens when you have childhood trauma, when you grow up in an unhealthy, dysfunctional, or toxic family system, is if you were in the kind of situation where you basically had to learn to regulate the adults around you. So let's say you were, in a home where the adults that were supposed to be taking care of you and making your home life stable and supportive were emotionally unregulated, in whatever way that might be, physical, mental, emotional, all the above. And so you developed this skill of learning how to regulate those adults, and it typically shows up as like, learning how to just make sure that everything's just so there's not a blow up, or so that you're people pleasing, you're doing things that are going to keep things smooth, keep things flowing. And this is a type of survival skill that you developed in childhood. Now, not all children have the same response to this kind of environment. Okay, I'm not saying everybody does this, but what I'm saying is people like you that are now in this profession of helping and healing and transformation, that was probably your response. And so it was probably something you were born with anyway. It's just like a natural tendency you had, and this is why you used it to adapt to your situation so that you could survive whatever was going on in your childhood. And now, you're in the healing and helping profession, and you are working with people, and you're really dedicated and compassionate, and you have this like incredible empathic ability. You're really tuned into your clients. You can read the subtlest signs of their body language or the tone of their voice. You're very intuitive, and you do really good work, and you're amazing. You're amazing at what you do, and you help a lot of people. And with that being said, there's just one thing you want to make sure that you are paying attention to, or that you're aware of, is because if you haven't done enough healing work around your childhood and around the trauma that is a result of whatever that is for you, then you're probably going to still be coming from a place in your adulthood now of needing to make sure that you're safe by making sure everyone else is regulated and everyone else is smooth and stable and flowing. And so unfortunately, this can happen where then you end up being in this sort of space where, it may not necessarily show up, that your clients might not necessarily be able to detect this. But what's happening internally is that you're still coming from that place of the inner child where you need to do this in order to feel safe. And so this might look like perhaps just like, you're great at work, you're doing well, but when you're not working, maybe when you're in your personal life or you're trying to relax or take some time off, you start to feel anxious, or you feel unsettled, or maybe you're addicted to your work. Maybe you're just constantly working. Maybe you are not having good boundaries in your professional life. Maybe you are feeling a little too identifying with clients. Perhaps there are some issues with, being triggered by clients. Or if you don't feel like your clients are getting the results that they would like to have, or you would like to see them have, you might start to feel triggered or anxious, right? Because, I think you see where I'm going with this, is because the problem is that part of you that you're probably not aware of has taken responsibility for everyone else's like well-being and emotional regulation and stability. You've taken that on as a child. You took on that responsibility as a child because the adults in the home didn't do that for themselves. They projected it onto you, or you just took it on just because that was your skill. And so now that's what you're doing still, even though you may not realize it, is you've taken on the responsibility of everyone else's healing, of everyone else's like ability to regulate themselves. And so this creates a lot of tension internally, and it creates boundary issues, being able to say no to clients maybe, or even recognizing when possibly there's someone you need to refer out. Maybe you've helped them as much as you can within the scope of whatever you do. And, it's time for them maybe to be referred out or for them to move on. And that might be difficult for you because it's like you're still attached and you're coming from the inner child. So what I want to say to you is that it's so important to start becoming aware of this and releasing that responsibility for other people's well-being. And it's not your job to regulate everybody. Okay. That's not your job. I mean, if you're a therapist or you're a coach or you're a healing professional of some kind, however that shows up for you, yes, you probably have incredible skills and tools. And yes, you can apply them to your client. You can teach your client how to use them. You can guide them in sessions. You can help them so much. But ultimately, that responsibility is theirs. So if you think on any level you're trying to take responsibility for that, it's time to give it back. So I tell you what, let's do something fun. Let's do a little tapping, and we'll just tap on this issue. Okay, let me get a drink of tea. All right, get ready. So we're going to just tap on the side of the hand. We're not going to do setup statement. We're just going to do some continuous tapping with some statements. So how about this? Everyone just tune in, take a breath. Think about, is it true? Am I taking responsibility? Am I trying to take responsibility for my client's ability to regulate themselves? Just tune into it, even if you think maybe I'm not, but just tune into it and see if you can get a number from 0 to 10, okay? And 0 would be, I'm absolutely not taking any responsibility for my client's ability to regulate themselves. And 10 would be, I know there's no doubt in my mind that I'm doing this. And so get your number 0 to 10 and just then set it aside. Okay. Don't overthink it. You got it? Okay, let's go. Even though I am taking responsibility for my client's ability to regulate themselves, I accept myself like this. And I know I'm doing good work. And even though my inner child might be trying to fix them, my inner child might feel safer when they're regulated. My inner child feels a lot safer when everybody's fixed and regulated. My inner child doesn't feel safe when clients don't get better, when clients get frustrated or upset, or they're not making progress. Makes me feel uncomfortable. That's my inner child feeling uncomfortable. Because when my inner child was an inner child, she had to, or he had to, or they had to regulate everyone around them. And that's how they stayed safe. And they were really good at it. And they got so good at it that they've been doing it ever since. And now I'm an adult and a professional, and I help people in my career. But I'm not responsible for them. I'm not responsible for them. I want you to tune into how that feels when you say it. Do you get any resistance there? Do you hear any like tail enders, any like, back talk, like, but, this or that? Well, yeah, but. Let's try it again. I'm not responsible for them. Maybe a part of me still feels responsible for whether they get results or whether they move forward or whether they get better or whether they're okay at the end of the session or not. My inner child doesn't feel safe unless they're okay. I acknowledge this could be happening to me. And I accept myself like this. And I know I can work on this. It could take some time. I'm willing to be patient with myself. I'm willing to acknowledge how much good work I do. Even if I am coming from my inner child, I'm still helping people. But maybe it's time to set some boundaries now for myself. Wouldn't that feel good to release that responsibility? How would that feel like if I wasn't responsible for everybody's mood all the time? I think that might feel good. I might consider letting this go and giving this back to whoever it belongs to. And just showing up and doing what I can to be present, hold a space for someone, teach them some tools and techniques to help themselves, and then move on to the next client and let it go. Give that responsibility back to them and trust that they can help themselves. What would it feel like to trust other people to solve their own problems, to get their own results from their own efforts? I just show up and do my job, and they do all the work, and then I'm free, and I can feel good about myself. Yeah, I'm willing to consider that. And I love and accept myself no matter what. Let's take a breath together. Wow. Okay. So let's check your number again. Whatever your number was at the beginning, 0 to 10. How much am I taking responsibility for other people's regulation and mood and getting better? See if your number shifted. Hopefully it's gone down. It's closer to 0. And that's awesome. And if not, that's okay. You can keep working on it. You know, this work takes time. It takes commitment. But the thing is, if you just choose it, if you're just like, okay, I'm going to choose this. Like, I know I want to heal and I want to heal my inner child, and I want to have better boundaries and I want to, feel at ease and I want to feel good in my body. I know you want all those things. So you don't have to know how it's all going to work right now, but you can just choose it. You can just decide that it's time. It's time. It's time to heal. So thanks for listening today. Oh, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so if you like it, if you get benefit. And look in the details below this video, and there's some different ways you can work with me. And I would love to see you out there and wherever it is we can connect. Thanks for being part of the Heartshine community. We'll talk later. Take care.